Hey, seventh grade history, it is Wednesday. And so I wanted to come to you. Hopefully, you're getting your tests done. Most of you probably have got them all turned in. I wanted to give you this little tidbit, if that helps. There was on the History Channel several years ago a show called How the States Got Their Shapes. And of course, being a history nut and being a history teacher, I was very interested. The reason that comes up is, of course, in our chapter, we talked about the Webster-Ashburton Treaty of 1842, and that established the northern border of Maine. If you've ever been to Maine, you know that it is a very, there's actually a lot of lakes, there's a lot of water, but again, it's right on the border of Canada. So Canada being its own country, England being the founder of both America and Canada, we were arguing with the Canadians as to where the border ought to be, and we finally established it in 1842. If you notice, the eastern states, east of the Mississippi, tend to be rarely straight. I think of Ohio, that the southern border of Ohio is actually a river. It's the Ohio River, and it starts in Pittsburgh, where the Monongahela and the Allegheny come together and form the Ohio, and it's the southern border of West Virginia, and then Ohio, and then it goes over to Indiana, Illinois, and down into Missouri, and then it actually goes into the Mississippi River. So a lot of the borders of the states in the east are waterways, whether it's a lake. The northern border of Ohio is obviously Lake Erie. The western border is actually a straight line, which I don't know how that happened, but we had to separate Ohio and Indiana somewhere, and that's how it worked. In the west, on the other hand, if you've noticed, out west, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, those are all straight lines. And the reason that they are straight lines, if you'll notice the population centers are in the east, with the exception of Los Angeles, places like, Tacoma, Washington, or Seattle, or places like that. Phoenix is another one. Most of those states are fairly sparse. So you think of Montana, there are actually more people in half of Florida than there is in the whole state of Montana. Matter of fact, Montana and Idaho together don't have enough population to cover the northern counties. The panhandle of Florida has more people. So that's why the states in the west are straight, because, again, there were no mountains in the way, with the exception of the Rockies. There's no mountains in the way. It's mostly desert. It's mostly open. The plains, obviously, there's nothing in the way. You can look for miles and see nothing. And so that was, if you ever get a chance to see the show called How the States Got Their Shapes, it's very interesting. The bottom line is this. The Webster-Ashburton Treaty, 1842, established the northern border of Maine, and that's how Maine got its shape. So that was a little tidbit. I thought you might find that interesting. Keep up your good work. Keep up getting things done, and we'll get back to you as quick as we can if you have a problem or a question, and we'll go from there. You guys have a great Wednesday. Thanks.